The way you speak to a woman shapes the dynamic between the two of you. Depending on your approach, she might either act distant, stay neutral, become interested, or even start pursuing you. A lot of guys, without realizing it, tend to communicate in ways that push women into playing hard to get. This often leads to the woman not reciprocating feelings, and if the guy keeps trying harder, the situation may worsen, with him eventually ending up in the friend zone or being rejected. This guide will highlight 3 common mistakes in how men talk to women, especially those they are attracted to, which cause women to play hard to get. Plus, it will explain what to say instead to increase her attraction and have her take the initiative in pursuing a connection. One common mistake is confessing your feelings too directly, like saying, "I really like you and want to take our friendship to the next level." Here's a typical scenario. You meet a woman and find her not only physically appealing, but also smart, grounded, and easygoing. She's the kind of person you've always wanted. Whether through work, school, or mutual friends, you get the chance to interact with her frequently. Over time, you develop a deeper attraction and start imagining a future together, hoping she'll start feeling the same. However, as the days turn into weeks or months, nothing happens. Eventually, you decide to tell her, "I need to say something. I like you as more than a friend and want to take things further." While you might expect her to confess similar feelings, her response often falls flat, with lines like, "I don't want to ruin our friendship," "I don't see you that way," or "Let's just stay friends." Why does this happen? A woman might play hard to get because she doesn't want to appear too eager, or she might feel cornered by the sudden request to define a relationship. In some cases, she might even sense that you've handed over all the power to her, and she's toying with it by rejecting or dismissing your feelings. But in many cases, it's simply because she would prefer for things to unfold naturally, a date, a kiss, and seeing where it leads, rather than being placed in a position to decide on the spot. Telling her you like her and want to take things further usually backfires, leading to her pulling away or making your friendship awkward. Instead, take a different approach. Rather than directly declaring your feelings, turn the moment into something playful. Use familiar movie or TV dialogue like, "There's something I've been meaning to tell you for a while now," where the audience would normally expect a heartfelt confession. Then, switch things up. Say something completely unexpected, like a joke. This not only catches her off guard, but also demonstrates your confidence, which can make her feel attracted and excited about where things could go next. By using humor and unpredictability, you'll spark curiosity, attraction, and leave her wanting more, making the dynamic feel natural rather than forced. Here's an example to lighten up the moment and break the ice. "Hey, there's something that's been on my mind for a while. We've been friends for a few months now, and honestly, I can't believe you haven't invited me over to cook me dinner yet. What kind of friend are you?" This playful comment will usually spark a fun response. She might joke back saying something like, "Oh, you should be the one cooking for me," or playfully challenge you. At this point, you can respond, "Sure, I'll cook, but only if you bring the dessert." From there, you've created an opportunity to hang out, which can easily transition into a more romantic atmosphere where things could naturally progress to kissing and beyond. Most of the time, women are receptive to such lighthearted teasing and will happily go along with it. You can take it further by saying, "All right, let's plan something. You bring the wine, I'll handle the cooking. How about Saturday?" It leads into a fun date filled with laughter and mutual effort where the chemistry can really shine. If you're worried about suggesting that she should cook, which most women enjoy if framed in a fun way, you could tweak it by suggesting something else. For example, say, "We've been friends for a while now, and you still haven't invited me for ice cream. What kind of friend does that? Let's fix that. How about we grab some ice cream tomorrow night?" This creates a laid-back opportunity to spend more time together outside of a group or work setting. If she agrees, and you both have a great time, you can then playfully push things further by saying something like, "All right, ice cream is done. Now you've leveled up as a friend, but the next step is cooking for me. When's that happening?" This approach helps you slowly transition from being just friends to something more, without making it feel forced. By adding humor, you take the pressure off her and show confidence in your actions, rather than seeking verbal approval. On the flip side, one major mistake men often make when trying to gauge a woman's interest is asking questions like, "Would you ever date a friend?" Or, "What do you think about people dating their friends?" These questions come off as seeking permission or approval, rather than showing confidence in your intentions. Instead of moving things forward, these kinds of inquiries usually result in women pulling back. They sense that you're unsure of yourself and trying to talk your way into a relationship, which diminishes attraction. When you ask a woman if she'd date a friend, she'll likely respond in a way that makes it even harder for you to move things forward. She might say, "I think friends should stay friends," or brush it off entirely. Even if she likes you, framing things like this makes her feel like she's the one in control. And most women prefer to be led into a relationship rather than having to make the decision outright. To avoid this, steer clear of asking for permission or validation. Focus instead on creating moments where something can naturally evolve between the two of you. For example, instead of asking her what she thinks about friends dating, invite her to spend time with you in a playful, fun context. Show confidence by leading the interaction and let things develop from there. In situations where a guy fantasizes about telling a girl how he feels and hopes she'll immediately reveal her hidden feelings for him, the reality is often much different. Most women won't respond by saying, "I've always had feelings for you. Let's go on a date, kiss, and start a relationship right now." In fact, this approach can cause her to pull away, especially if it comes across as trying too hard. Instead of forcing a confession, what tends to work better is creating moments where she feels like she's the one pursuing the connection. A simple way to do this, like the example from earlier about asking her to cook for you or getting ice cream together, is to playfully say something like, "But we're just doing this as friends, right? Don't get any funny ideas." This line takes the pressure off and lets her laugh while creating a playful dynamic. You could add, "I'm not that easy, so don't try anything in the kitchen." It's teasing in a way that suggests you know she might be attracted to you, but without making her feel awkward or pressured. When you say something like, "No funny business, we're just hanging out," most women will laugh and might even try to downplay their own interest. This makes them feel more comfortable while you show that you're confident enough to joke about the possibility of her being attracted to you. It's all about making her feel like you're aware of the attraction but not overly focused on it, which builds anticipation. For many attractive women, the majority of men they meet don't have the confidence or social skills to create this kind of playful tension. Instead, guys will often opt for serious discussions, saying things like, "I like you more than just a friend," or "I want to take our friendship to the next level." This leads to awkwardness because it feels like the guy is trying to convince her into liking him rather than letting things happen naturally. Another common mistake is asking her something like, "What do you look for in a guy?" or trying to be exactly what she says she wants. This usually backfires because she can tell he's just trying to mold himself to her preferences instead of being authentic. In these cases, she may play hard to get, friend-zone him, or outright reject him because she senses he's not being genuine. One more thing to avoid is agreeing with everything she says just to seem like you have a lot in common. While it's fine to agree on some things, if it's obvious you're doing it only to gain her approval, she'll lose respect and attraction. For instance, if she says something like, "I hate the UFC, it's too violent," and you actually enjoy the sport, don't just agree to impress her. Instead, playfully disagree in a way that keeps the conversation light and fun. You could say, "Oh, come on, I thought you were a strong, independent woman. Turns out you're a bit of a wimp," with a teasing smile. This type of playful banter allows you to show your real personality without making her feel disconnected, even if you don't share the same opinion. It demonstrates that you're not afraid to disagree while keeping things fun and flirtatious, which will build attraction. Women appreciate when a guy can stand his ground in a lighthearted way without trying to impress her by being overly agreeable. Ultimately, you want to make her feel like you're both enjoying the interaction and that you're confident enough to lead things forward without needing her approval. Rather than discussing your way into a relationship, create moments where attraction builds naturally and the connection moves forward with ease. It's important to remember that when you're playfully teasing a girl, it's not about insulting or seriously attacking her. For example, if you joke that she's a wimp because she thinks UFC is too violent, it's all in good fun. The key is to keep the tone lighthearted so you both enjoy the moment. She'll likely defend herself playfully, and you can further the banter by telling her to show off her muscles, then jokingly saying, "I still think you're a wimp," while laughing together. Compare this to the type of conversation where a guy is too agreeable. He might say, "Yeah, I totally agree, it's really violent," even if he enjoys UFC just to impress her. This is a completely different interaction, one that often makes him seem like he's trying too hard. As mentioned earlier, how you talk to a girl shapes the kind of relationship you'll have with her. If you're overly agreeable or passive, she may lose interest, or worse, start playing hard to get. But if you bring some playful challenge and banter into the mix, it creates attraction. So why does disagreeing in a playful way make her want something to happen between you and her? It's because she feels challenged and intrigued by your confidence. You're not trying to suck up to her or fake compatibility. Instead, you're showing that you're confident enough to have your own opinions, and you can handle yourself in a social interaction. You also have the social intelligence to keep things light and fun, rather than turning everything into a serious discussion. Women are attracted to guys who can make them feel desirable emotions, not just logical agreements. When you're playful and tease her, you're making her feel something exciting. She may feel drawn to you because you're different from other guys who try to discuss their way into a relationship, or who are too nervous to say anything outside of agreement. You're creating moments that feel memorable, and those moments build attraction. At the end of the day, attracting women isn't about impressing them with agreement or logic. It's about making them feel something. If you know how to create those exciting emotions, she will naturally be more interested in you. This is where confidence and social skills come into play, and why so many guys who struggle with attraction find it hard to connect with women on a deeper level. If you find it difficult to attract women as you talk to them, there are ways to improve your skills. By understanding how to have fun, be confident, and tease her in a playful manner, you can create instant attraction. This is something you can learn and practice. For example, the flow is a guide that can teach you how to approach conversations, build attraction, and even lead things toward a kiss or more. Talking to women and making them want to be with you is easier when you understand how to do it right. Rather than relying on scripted lines or forced agreement, you'll learn how to naturally create the attraction that makes her want something to happen between you two. When you can create those exciting emotions, the rest follows naturally, whether it's getting her number, a kiss, or even more. This approach works because you're giving her the chance to feel lucky to be with you, and that's what keeps the connection exciting. I hope you've benefited from this video. Be sure to check out the recommended video popping up on the left side of your screen right now for more relationship tips. Thanks as always for watching, and always remember to keep embracing a stoic approach to life.